and your children are turned into mindless vassals who now they look up to some twit instead of looking up to Thomas Jefferson or looking up to Nikola Tesla or looking up to Magellan. I mean, kids, Magellan's a lot cooler than Justin Bieber. He circumnavigated with one ship the entire planet. He was killed by wild natives before they got back to Portugal. And when they got back, there was only like 11 people alive of the 200-something crew, and the entire ship was rotting down to the waterline. That's destiny. That's will. That's striving. That's being a trailblazer, an explorer, going into space, mathematics, quantum mechanics, the secrets of the universe. It's all there. Life is fiery with its beauty. It's incredible detail. Tuning into it. They want to shatter your mind talking about Justin Bieber.
Whoa. Barely made it. The nick of time. The nick of time. How's this today? Orange or white? Orange or white? I look like a ghost. Ooh, nice tan. Hello out there. It's Friday, baby. It's Friday and we're on the air. Man, what the hell's going on? Where's everybody today? Most mornings, especially on a Friday, there's like 1,000, some days 10,000 people in here. What's going on? Just kidding, but there should be. There should actually be more than that in here every morning. But instead, people are, watching the news. What's going on in the news? What's going on in some country that I've never been to and will never be to ever? Everybody's so concerned about what's happening out there instead of what's happening in here. And it's interesting. It's really interesting to me. And I mean, I'm guilty of it myself. I've spent 90% of my life living in that realm. But the good news is we got a different path. We got a different path to walk on these days. And what a path it is, man. I wouldn't want to be anywhere else than right here and right now. Nowhere. Even though it's cloudy here, even though it's, half the province is underwater right now. I don't know, man. There's just something special about this exact time in history. It just feels like we're going through something big. You get that feeling? You get that vibe? It feels like we're going through something big right now. But I guess time will have to tell. We got 21 people over in the Rumble so far today. Good to see that. Rumble's buzzing. All my redneck friends over in Rumble. Wow, we got 8 people in Nostr. We haven't even told Nostr that we're live yet. Zapstream, what's going on? My friends, I figured YouTube wouldn't show up today after I belittled them yesterday. I tried to shame YouTube yesterday. The YouTube audience. But, that's what you got to do sometimes. Because, again, you don't have to. You can do whatever the hell you want to. That's the beauty of life, is that you don't have to take shit from anybody. Especially some guy with curly hair wearing a "We Are Right About Bitcoin" shirt. Especially not him. But we're going to watch a couple different videos today. It's going to be a fun show today. I titled this one "Discovering the Secrets of the Universe," and we're going to be watching a couple different short clips. Just going to be like, remember back in school when it was like a Friday, teacher was gone, teacher was sick, probably partying somewhere, maybe Cancun, pretending to be sick. And then you'd have a substitute, or it's like the last day before summer break or Christmas break. And they'd wheel in the old TV with the VCR. I don't know if we had DVDs or not. I don't really remember. It had to have been DVDs by the end of it. But that's what we're going to do today. We're just going to have a little bit of fun. We're going to discover some of the secrets of the universe today together. And I think it's a worthwhile mission. I think it's a worthwhile cause. But anyways, one of the videos we're going to watch today talks about, what now that people are waking up, what are we supposed to do now? What are we supposed to do now? Okay, let's man, we could probably watch like 10 videos today. Every time I watch a good video, I save it to my Obsidian here, and I'm just going to send like the last, couple weeks worth and see what we can discover. Come on. Man, I love Obsidian, but it's so hard to copy things. Why? Why is it this hard? This should be easy. You just copy it. You select it. Okay, come on. Man, I feel like we had this issue last time too. Okay, well, I guess we'll just have to do this manually, one at a time. Wow. That is truly unbelievable. But anyways, let me know. I like doing this once in a while. Let me know where you're watching from today. I don't do it enough. But let me know where you're watching from this morning. Whether you're watching live or later, just put a flag or put a city or put a country, because I probably don't check my analytics enough. And I like to know where people are from. And if you think that I'm a federal agent, then just simply don't share your country. It's not that big a deal. The world's not out to get you, Well, it kind of is. It kind of is, and it kind of isn't. But I feel like I know some people like that. I know some people who live their lives in a state of constant, just constant stress of like, everything that they hear or see, they just take it the wrong way, as if the world's out to get them. You have people like that in your life. Okay, come on, baby, come on. We're moving here. We're moving. Oh, I got stuck. Okay, well, that's probably enough for today, anyways. Otherwise, we'll be here till tomorrow. Okay, let's see. We're just gonna shoot from the hip here. But anyways, what's going on today, folks? Well, we got one in there. Oh, we got two. We got an eagle. That would suggest to me that is from the America. Or you could do that too. That's a good idea. I like that, sats and sunsets. Put like put an emoji of where you're from, and not your flag, not a word, but like an emoji that people would be able to guess where you're from. Hang on one sec. Mike is muted. Shit. All right. So it is Friday. It is Fat Zap Friday today. It looks like we got some action over in man. I'm going through it this morning. Why? Oh, I could probably tell you why, but nobody cares. But I got home pretty late last night. I don't know what time it was. It was after 11. And then we watched about an hour of a show. So I didn't get to bed till like 12:30 or 1 last night. But that's pretty much every Thursday for me. Because I got to drive last night it was 2 hours. Can you believe that? 2 hours to go play golf. But it was a great round of golf last night. Really good round of golf. Beautiful weather. Great company. And it was actually very funny. So I'll just tell a real quick story here about my day yesterday and just how, this is just golf. This is golf summed up perfectly to what happened yesterday. So last week I told you we played 36 holes last Thursday for our men's league, and we lost both matches. Both of us, we didn't play very well. We were just kind of off, but that happens in golf. So I hadn't been to the range yet this year, which is like another part of it. It's like, as a golfer, you just kind of show up to the course and expect that, you're going to shoot the round of your life without putting any sort of work in. People see golfers on TV and they're like, they're pretty good. But if you ever played against them, you would see how good they really are. And the difference between good and them is like miles. But it's because they put in so much work. They put in so much work. And, that's really one of the things that Bitcoin has taught me most about everything. If you want to be good at anything, you have to put in the work. There's absolutely no shortcuts to anything in life. Nothing. Whether it's your job, whether it's your business, whether it's your golf game, whatever you water, whatever you spend your time and energy on, whatever you put water on, that's what grows. And I've seen that a lot in the last couple of years, and I understand why now. Like it would always just be a mystery to me. Why isn't this working? Why did I show up to the course this day and suck? But it's because you don't put in the work. That's why. So professional golfers, they spend hours at the range, on the course, in the gym, in the cold plunge, in the sauna. They put in a lot of work. So anyways, last week was a shit show. It was bad. We lost both matches. We got humbled. Golf humbled us last week. So anyways, yesterday I was like, I should probably go to the range to try and like tune things in a little bit, recalibrate my golf game. And so I went to the range, and I don't think I've ever hit the ball that bad. It was actually embarrassing. Like, I think I shanked 2 balls. 2 out of the first 5 balls I shanked. And it was just horrific. And I was a little bit rushed too, because I still had to get to my tee time. I had to do a couple things around town. So I was a little bit rushed. So we might be able to chalk it up to that. But it was the worst I've ever hit the ball. So anyways, I'm heading to the course. I got a couple stops to make. I'm stressed. I'm like, what the hell is going to happen tonight on the golf course? How bad is it going to be? And it's a harder course than we usually play, because the one that we play weekly is flooded right now. So anyways, I go to my buddies. I pick up this old set of golf clubs, because I collect old sets of golf clubs. If I'm always looking on like marketplaces and thrift shops and trying to find like old golf clubs. Mostly for the bags, though. Like, sometimes I got a couple sets of wooden golf clubs here, which are really cool. But for the most part, I just buy it strictly for like the old leather golf bag, because they usually sell like the whole set and the golf bag for like $50. So go pick up this old bag that he picked up for me from Marketplace. And I'm driving out to the course, and I'm literally thinking to myself, like, this is a dead serious thought that I had in my mind. I'm just going to use these old golf clubs. Never used them before. They're like TNT clubs from like the 1980s. This old golf bag. I'm like, I'm just going to shock my brain and my body so much just by using new clubs. But then I was like, what if I do that and I'm even worse? Then it would just be exponentially a worse drive home tonight. So I decided against it. But the point is like, that's how bad things were for me yesterday. Going to the golf course was that I was willing to try these clubs from the 1980s just to mess with my head a little bit. So anyways, get to the golf course. First 3 drives, perfect, down the middle. Best drives I've hit all year. Shot the best round I've ever shot at that golf course in my entire life. And I played there quite a bit through the years. Best round I've ever played there. And we won by 4. So it's like, how does that make any sort of sense? Within 2 hours or less, I go from the worst golfer on the planet to my best round ever. I don't know. I don't have the answer to it. It's just kind of like how messed up golf is. And I think what it was is like, I was thinking too much. It's just kind of like when you think about anything too hard. Like whether you're eating your food and you think about like how much you have to move your hand to your face, or like you're trying to throw like a piece of paper into the garbage can, and you're trying to calculate like, okay, we're 3 feet here. My arm has to be at this angle. The more you think about something, the worse you are. And I think that's a really good analogy for life in general, because people really get in their own heads a lot. They get in their own way of a lot of things, and they talk themselves into things, and they're either reflecting on old memories and spend the majority of their time there, or they're worried about, they're anxious and fearful about the future, things that haven't even happened yet, might not even happen. And so I just think that, you know, number one is we get in our own heads, we get in our own way with overthinking things. But the other thing too is just like, you also have to understand how amazing your body is, because when you think about it that way, it's like the less you think, the better you are. What does that tell you? That tells you that your mind and body are perfect. It's just that when you try to do too much with either one of them, that's when things go wrong. So if you just step up to the ball or step up to anything in life, and you just kind of let your natural instincts and your intuition, just let it take over. Just go, get out of the way and see what happens. And that's really what I did last night on the course, because I had zero expectations. I was not thinking about my score at all, because it was just like, it was so bad. I was just happy to be hitting the golf ball well. And it turned into that. So, you can think about these things. And I mean, it's different from me sitting up here telling you this, but you can hear these things, you can read about these things. But when you actually go through something like that, you understand how real that is, of how much we get in our own way, in our own head, and how amazing we are just as we are. If we just get the hell out of the way and let us do our thing, we're actually very, very powerful beings. So that was last night. And so that's why I'm a little bit, every Friday morning, I'm like this. So I don't think anybody's surprised about it. But anyways, that was the Thursday men's night recap of the week. The nice thing about golf is you always learn something. You always learn something. That's what I love about golf so much, is that you can, whether you're playing good or whether you're playing bad, every time you play around the golf, you learn something about yourself. And you just don't see it. You don't get that from, I don't get that from anything else. So anyways, let's check on the chat here. Let's see what's going on. First in the chat today is Mark, 6'5" Sats. Mark, 6'5" Sats. Bob, Stewie, look at the boys there. Bob on the left, Stewie on the right. Mark, unpictured. Mark, not seen in photo. We got Praetorian here, the Guardian. Praetorian 91. Good to see you, Praetorian. Great to see you, my friend. Scotty Boy says, hello, is this the right place for sexy bald men? Sexy bald men. Sats and Sunsets is here. The Smith. Stell's Row. Robert's here. Jake, 21 Ats. Matt, FRL. Sats and Sunsets playing the Jeopardy theme song. Hey, Ralph's here. Ralph says, good morning. Sorry if that was loud. Sketchucation. Rich is here. Scotty Boy. Tired after watching the burpees. Oh, you're watching Adam or what? Was Adam at it today? Up and Adam? Kev, look at that. 21 Sat Street. Happy Friday, he says. Good morning, Kev. Sincere. Bright and early here today, Sin. Says, bonjour, mes amis. What the hell does that mean? Mes amis. It's got to be French. Sneezing like a son of a gun today. Hello, we are here. We are here. There we go. Man, I'm looking tan today. Looking tan. Good to see you, Cindeezy. Maria, 25 hundo. Maria, 2,500. Maria, 5,000. Maria, 7,000. Maria, 8,000. Maria, 10,000. Who is it today? We will see. Sats and Sunsets buying Membies. Who got it? Who got it today? Kev. Congrats, Kev. 21 Sat Street, the newest redneck over in Rumble. I see a comment from Scotty at the bottom here. He says, usually the opposite for me. Great on the range, dog of around. That's what I was saying. I was like, usually it's the opposite. Usually you show up at the range and you're just like hammering balls. Long, straight, good flight. And then you go to the golf course and it's like the complete opposite because you're tight. You're tight, you're worried, you're fearful of things. So I don't know, man. Like I kind of see the signs to it there too, because like let's just play through this because this is a golf reference here, but I think it's analogy to a lot of different things. And the one thing I think for me most is expectations. We talk about expectations here all the time, but let's just flip it on its head. Let's say that I went to the range and I was just hitting every ball perfectly. Every drive right down the middle, every iron shot crisp, every wedge just dialed. I'm heading to the golf course. What's going through my head? What's going through my head on the way to the golf course? I'm probably thinking, man, this is going to be the day. This is going to be the day I shoot the course record. We're going to win by 20. The newspaper is going to show up. The media is going to show up after the round and say, congrats, Jory, you just shot the world's best record, the world's best score. Then you'd have that expectations. Then you hit one bad shot and you're like, oh my God, what's going on? And then you just spiral. You know what I mean? But I think the flip side of it is like, I went to the course with zero expectations. I thought I was going to have a terrible round because I was hitting it so bad. And then all of a sudden you hit a good one. You're like, okay. Well, let's see what happens. But I'm still not thinking about anything. I still had zero expectations. Even if I made a couple pars right off the hop, I actually birdied the second hole. Hit a perfect drive, close wedge, 7 feet, boom, birdie, rolling. But then you're just like, okay, well, you still don't have any sort of expectations. And I really feel like that's how you do your best work and live your best life, is just with zero expectations or even bad expectations. Just assume that the worst is going to happen. Don't like visualize it. Don't like, bring it to reality, but just, assume that the worst is going to happen. Then you can't lose. It's crazy. It's crazy to me how much that plays in our lives, how much our expectations play into our lives. You know what I mean? Like really, whenever you're upset about something, it's because you expected things to go differently than that. You expected different of somebody else. That's the only time you're like in a bad spot, in a bad mood, in a bad headspace, is when you had these expectations and then things didn't go your way. What if you just didn't have expectations? Would you ever have any bad days? I don't know. What do I know? I'm just asking questions. But anyways, thank you, Sats and Sunsets. This is, what's the block height today? What was my banner there? 956,502. 956,502. It is July 3rd today. It is the day before the eve. It is 250 eve today. I should have titled the show that today. 250 eve. July 3, 2026, 250 eve. Here's what I'm going to say. Tomorrow is July 4th. Tomorrow is 250. I know most Americans will be out partying or something, but I might do a show tomorrow. To celebrate 250. Even though it is Saturday and I don't usually do shows on Saturday, I might do a show tomorrow. But here's the thing. Don't expect it. Don't expect it. Just pretend right now. Just say, you know what? George said that, but he's full of shit. He's not going to show up tomorrow. Just don't expect it. Then you can't be disappointed. You can't be disappointed in me. But we might do it. We'll see. Okay, so we got Sats and Sunsets with a Memby here. I see Jenny. Hands off my Sats. I see a couple more highlighted things happening over in Rumble. Jenny with a Memby. Who got it? Nobody yet. If you're watching this on Rumble right now and you haven't said good morning yet, just say hello. Say hello. You're going to get yourself a free membership. from Jenny. I'm going to spend the whole show dodging sneezes today. It just feels like. Since that I'm old enough to remember when that Friday substitute teacher rolled in a film projector. Sin, don't date yourself, man. Don't date yourself. You already did, though. You doxed yourself. There you go. Kev with a Memby from Sats and Sunset. So this is going to be USA. We got Eastern Ontario, Canada. We got a confused Travolta. I don't know what that means from Jake. We got a couple Canadians here, it looks like. We got some bacon, a beaver, and a hockey stick. Nice. We got retro beaver with a beaver. Sin had a water gun, a U.S. flag, a star, a horse, a cowboy, oil, and a truck. We're going to go with America. We're going to go with America for that one. 2 shanks and 5 shots, rookie numbers. No, that's freaking bad. That's bad, bad, bad. Sato's here. Sato Millionaire. Good morning. There's Jenny with a Memby. Scotty boy, I'm thinking, where's the golf course? Oh, when you're driving there. Okay, hold on. Some point you run out of sneezes, right? That's how it works. Some point. Ralph says, I'm in it for the long haul, my friend. Good man. I think everybody here is, but we'll see. Time will tell. Ian's here. Ian says, good morning, George. Got you in the background of work, my friend. Happy stacking friends. Ian, don't work too hard, man. It's Friday. You got to take it easy. Don't be working too hard. But good to see Ian in the chat this morning. Always nice to see Ian. Jenny says, move into the background so I can drive. Okay, Jenny. Happy 4th of July. Yeah, I guess it's 4th of July in Japan today. Scotty, you still suffering from your World Cup loss the other day? Canada, I don't know about you, but Canada's still in it. U.S. is still in it. What happened to Japan? Oh, yeah, we should tell Noster that we're live now that we're into. What's going on Noster? We got 8 people there, and we. Never mind. Everything just loaded. I was just about to give his Zap stream shit. I said there's 8 people in there, and only Moravian has said hi. But then everything loaded. So good thing I didn't get that far. Okay, let's get the Nosters going. Scotty says, I'm okay. Still my real home team in it. Scotty, are you from are you originally from America or Canada? Or somewhere else? Okay, let's tell Noster we're live. Yo, Noster. We're live. Fat Zap Friday, baby. Fat Zap Friday. All right. Let's see who's on. Let's see. We got to acknowledge our friends over on Noster. No doubt about that. We got Letha. Letha, the icon. 1 of 1. Letha, 1 of 1. She zapped a shot of espresso today. Thank you, Letha. And she says, happy Friday. So Jenny had a Memby. Letha had a espresso. Moravian's here. Our guy Moravian. Back in the chat today with a double shot of espresso today for Fat Zap Friday. Fat Zap. Fat ass Zap. Matt FRL's over there. He's Zap 21. Thank you, Matt. We got Sats and Sunsets with show 55 today. Back on track, having Friday on a multiple of 5. So this is show 555 today. Sharon B. I don't know if Sharon B is here or not, but she would love this show today. 555. And he's up 55 sats for that. Duncan's here. He said, good morning, everyone. DCA. Duncan, thank you, my friend. That was 4841, which I'm pretty sure was pretty close to that. What was it yesterday, Duncan? DCA was 4824, 4841. Okay, so the price must be down a little bit today. Yes, it is. I had it in the banner. It is down a little bit. So thank you, Duncan. We got Scotty Boy. Is this the right place for forgetting I can come here? Yes, but you are here now, and that's all that matters, my man. Hanky Panky. He says, first-time viewer from the Netherlands. Heck yeah. Heck yeah. Hanky says you are not a Dutch federal agent, at least. True. And Hanky said, I already spoiled the answer. Yeah, you did. That's okay. Welcome, Hanky. Hanky, what do you got for a profile pic here? What is that? Hanky. What is this? What kind of witchcraft is this? What kind of Netherlands witchcraft is this? Hanky, what is that? Is that a scuba diver? Right here. Hanky, we're going to send you a zap for your first appearance here. We're going to give you a custom one of 88 sats. We're going to put welcome Hanky. Welcome Hanky the snorkeler. The snorkel king. I'm assuming that's a snorkel guy. So if somebody wants to pay this invoice for Hanky, I would like that before I get there, before I arrive. Open up the aqua. I don't think anybody's paid it yet. We can take as long as we want here. Come on, Aqua. You've been so good to me lately. Oh, man. Why are lightning wallets so freaking hard? Why? Come on, Lightning. You're making me look like a fool here on TV. Okay, we're going to try it. This hasn't been working. See, this is the freaking message I get every time now on Wall of Satoshi. I don't know why. Ever since I was in Prague, it's been failing. Okay, let's try this. That was on my self-custody wallet, though. I wonder if this is going to be different. There we go. So I wonder why that's just from my self-custody wallet. So that's paid. Hanky. There it is right there, folks. 88. Worked. Just like magic. It's just like magic. I don't know who Hanky is. I've never seen him in my life before. He's from the Netherlands. I don't know what his profile pic is. But we just sent him 88 units of value for wherever he is without his permission. How cool is that? That's not something you see every day, that's for sure. Moravian's in the Ukraine. Our friend Moravian, our good guy, our good friend Moravian is in the Ukraine. Mateo's here. Jake is here. Scotty is here. Sats and Sunset said, zapped a shot of espresso. And he said 2 of 3 towards the hat trick. Okay. So Sats and Sunsets has the membership. He has the zap. And now he just needs a rant over on Rumble. And he's good to go. Psych. Thought I had to sneeze there, but didn't. Okay. Hanky says it's Wheatley from Portal 2 dressed up as Gordon Freeman from Half-Life. I don't know what Portal 2 is or what Half-Life is. On the right client, my nickname is even more witchcraft now. It took me an hour to figure out how to use emojis as a nickname. Not snorkeling, it's a gaming reference. Oh, frick. Hanky said, I haven't used Lightning Wallets much yet, so it could be broken on my end. No, it worked. Well, it worked on my end anyways. I don't know if you received it or not, but it worked on my end. Okay. Speaking of 555, shout out to Sharon B today. She's not here, but I'm thinking of her because I'm going to have some water here. See if this helps take the sneezing away. Cure me. Cure me, magic water. We'll see. But it was raspberry element today. That's what we're drinking. Raspberry element. Okay. What's going on here? Kev says, cheering for U.S. Good chance they beat Belgium on Monday, but also backing Argentina. Think they can go back to the final again. Nice. Good chance they beat Belgium on Monday, but also back in Argentina. So they don't play till Monday, hey? It's kind of stupid that the U.S. played on Canada Day and Canada plays on America Day. Could have done that better, FIFA. Plastic. What the hell, man? I told you to... oh, Scotty's Australian. Did I know that? Scotty, you old bloke. Scotty, you bloke. Is Australia still in the World Cup? He said, yeah, I think. My real home team in it. Yeah, so Australia, really? I didn't think Australia would be good at soccer. Don't seem like the soccer type. They don't seem poor enough to be good at soccer. It seems like their GDP is too high to be a good soccer team. But it's funny, you know, I said this the other day when we were watching soccer. It's like, man, what a sign of the times. Our hockey team now sucks, and our soccer team is good. Is that an indicator? Because hockey's a pretty rich man sport. And Canada has always been at the top of that, as we should be. We should be probably the richest country on this planet based on what we have here. But unfortunately, we're going backwards. We're going down to soccer. We're bringing in a bunch of immigrants, and we're getting much poorer, and so we're excelling at soccer. Yeah, that's a terrible indicator. When your country is good at soccer, that's a terrible economic indicator. Prove me wrong. Would have been fun to watch U.S. and England on the World Cup on the 4th. No doubt. I thought that was actually the case, but it didn't work out. That might have just been a rumor. Ralph says, Jor, I'm still trying to. What's with the greater than symbols there? I'm trying to get on Proton. Will I be able to take my node overseas without it being confiscated? Where should I decide to reside elsewhere? Ralph, blink twice if you're okay, man. I don't know what the hell that means. I have no idea what that means. So therefore, I cannot help you. I'm trying to get on Proton. Will I be able to take my node overseas without it being confiscated? Should I decide to reside elsewhere? Ralph, are you okay? Are you okay? Are you having a stroke? Playing 2.5 hours. Sport equals Australia. Got to be sharp to stay alive. Sport equals Australia. Man, I don't know. I might just be living on a different planet today. I don't know what anybody's saying. Maybe I am. Maybe I'm the problem. As Morgan Wallen would say, maybe I'm the problem. Could be. But anyways, we might have a couple hat tricks to report here. I'm catching up on things here. We might have a couple Satoshi hat tricks to report. I'm just going to check on the zaps. The fat zap Friday machine here. So I see Jenny. It looks like Jenny has a Memby. Jenny also sent a rant. She said, good morning. Is this the right place for muted Jor rants? I forgot about that. The muted Jor rant, that was probably the worst 10 minutes of my professional career here. Would you call me professional? Yeah, I would. Define professional. It's pretty gray. It's pretty subjective. But I would consider myself to be professional. Have to. Because if you don't believe in yourself, nobody's going to. So that was the worst 10 minutes of my professional career, no doubt about it. But thank you, Jenny. So Jenny got a $5. Now we're going to check to see if Jenny, we're going to check the Zap machine here. Well, she had one yesterday. Did Jenny have a hat trick yesterday? Man, it's hard to, we got some action in here today. 2 of 3. Oh, there it is. Yep, Jenny. There it is right at the top. How did I miss that one? Okay, here we go. First of the day. Will there be more? The Satoshi hat trick. Jenny, legendary, with the Satoshi hat trick on this Fat Zap Friday today. And I'm also seeing something else here. I see another rant, another Fiat Zap over in Rumble from Sats and Sunsets for $2. And that means he had a comment saying 3 of 3 with a hat beside it. That means we have another Satoshi hat trick to report here. I freaking love that. Shout out to Adam and Lori sweating and smiling together. And I think it was Lori that created that one though, but we'll give some props to Adam too. But that video there, Satoshi hat trick from Lori. So shout out to Jenny today with the hattie. Shout out to Sats and Sunsets for the hattie. And heck yeah. I love the Satoshi hat trick. The Sat trick. That means the USA is becoming a shithole. Yeah, true. Same with Canada. We're both in the top 16 of worst countries. Poorest countries, not worst, poorest. Forlix, Alex says good morning with a cup of coffee. Good morning, Forlix Alex. Is it Forlix or Alex? Also, Plastic, are you here? Tell me, Plastic, tell me what I can call you besides freaking Plastic. It's a bad nickname. I don't do well with bad nicknames. Give me something here. Give me something. Yeah, Japan's doing well. It's a good economic indicator. They lost. Usually, wow, look at this little curl right here. It's a tight one. Tight curl. Oh, man. Somebody asked me, I think I told you guys this story, but somebody asked me if I perm my hair at a club in Prague. He's like, man, I love your hair. Do you perm it? I was like, no. He's like, I just started perming mine. What do you think about it? Looks good, man. I'm trying to get back to my karaoke here. I'm trying to sing some Oasis. Get out of my way. Bugger off. Oh, yeah, we got 32 people over on Rumble right now, and half the people have pressed the thumbs up, and it looks like about half the people have said hello. So if you're watching this over on Rumble this morning, please sound off in the chat and just put an emoji, put your favorite alcoholic drink, put anything you want, but just say hello over there. It helps, believe it or not. Actually, if you're going to do anything, you don't have to like the stream, but just leave a little comment in Rumble if you're watching this and you haven't piped in today. That would be mucho appreciate. Okay. Mark, you said it. You said it, not me. But yeah, I watched that video a couple times and I didn't understand how that was an assist because he looked at it, just looked like the puck was just floating there in front of the tendy. So I agree. Maybe we'll tighten that up somehow. Maybe I'll tell Lori to fix it. But like, what am I supposed to do? Say, hey, Lori, the assist looks a little bit off. Can you spend more of your time doing this for us? I think it's funny, actually. I actually don't want to change it. I think it's kind of funny. But hey, there's Papaya there. Thank you. Good morning, Papaya. Mark said, love the hat trick concept, but as a hockey player, hockey dad, and former coach, the video assist needs some work. And look at that. You show up You get a membership. You show up. You become a redneck. That's what happens over in Rumble. God bless. And we got Paulie, head voice. He says hello from sweaty, hot, woke Ontario. Even the dog won't go outside. Man, we're like living on different freaking. I was talking to Rajat the other day too. He's like, it's beautiful here, man. I'm like, we're literally underwater. It's cold. It's wet. It sucks. And we're like pretty close to them geographically. So I don't know what the hell's going on. I don't know what's going on. But anyways, let's get to some shit here. Let's get to some shit. So, man, I don't even have that much time right now. Frick me. Talking too much here. If you're watching over on Zapstream, just say hello as well, because I don't know if the comments are frozen or if just everybody on Zapstream is being quiet today. But either way, please just put a comment over in the Zapstream. Please. I'm begging you. I'm freaking begging you. Okay, what was I doing? Proton. We're going to start with this one. And, this is something we've been talking about a lot lately and stuff we're going to be talking about a lot more of. The show is going to go through a bit of an evolution here, I think, in a lot of ways. And I hope a lot of people stick around for the ride. Because, we can only talk about the Bitcoin price and who's buying Bitcoin and, what the difficulty adjustment is. We can only talk about those things so many times. And I think what we really need to do here together, and I hope to be kind of like the guide along the way, is looking a little bit deeper into things. Because as we all know, Bitcoin leads you down many different rabbit holes in life. Many. Some good, some bad. Some that you wish you never went down. But point is there's something deeper out there. And I titled the show today, Discovering the Secrets of the Universe. And, we start the show every day with some Alex Jones talking about the secrets of the universe. It's all there, how we should be looking for it. There's just so much to look for. He says something like life is fiery with its beauty. And it really is. It's just that we're so distracted. We've been lied to. We've been taught the wrong history. We've been told to like the wrong things, look up to the wrong people. We've been lied to about everything. And, if you can get past that, which I think most people who watch this stream are kind of past that now, you start looking at other things and you start discovering what's really here that's really been hidden from us intentionally. That's the very sinister part about this whole thing to me, is that it was intentional. So one of the things I saw this morning, one of the things I came across in my travels was turtles. And it's interesting to me because last week I posted a picture on Primal. And let me bring that up quickly here. I posted this picture on Primal last week of a turtle. And, you might call it a sign from the universe. You might call it coincidence. It doesn't matter. But it is what it is. So if I can find this here, let's find this turtle. Let's find this freaking turtle. Where are you, turtle? Should be right here. There we go. Okay, look at this. Look at this. Sats and Sunsets with another Memby. Yep. And wow, he's going for the double sat trick today. What? Is that even possible? I don't know. I don't know if that's in the rules or not. Can we have doubles in a day? I don't know why not. So he got the Memby, he got a $5 fiat zap, and I'm assuming that he also sent in a zap if he's looking for the double hattie. This would be the first double hattie in history here. If it happened, let's see. Are we going to get to watch the video again? Sats and Sunsets with a double shot of espresso. There it is, the double hattie. The double espresso and a double hattie. Okay, let's here it is. Okay, keep an eye on the assist here, the second part. Tell me how this is an assist. I don't know, but I love it. I don't know. Did it go in? Is that a real assist? I don't know. Did it go in the net? It looked like it was just floating in front of the goalie. Maybe it went in right after that and the camera just never saw it. Either way, double hattie today for Sats and Sunsets. That's the goal, assist, fight, Zap, Fiat Zap membership. Double today for Sats and Sunsets on this Fat Zap Friday. Heckin' A. Heckin' A. And Micah was the winner of that membership. She's the newest redneck over on Rumble. Tarek says, if you declare it with your mouth, Jesus is Lord, and believe in your heart that God raised him from the dead, you will be saved. Time is short. We are living in the end times. I respectfully disagree. But that's up to me. Maybe that's God telling me, hey, don't mess with me. I'm going to make you sneeze on live camera. Don't mess with me, Jor. But I mean, I agree with some of this. I agree with some of it, not all of it, though. I don't think we're in end times. I think that people have been living in end times for centuries. It's always it's the end of the world. Jesus is coming back. I don't subscribe to it personally. I think that's been a trick. That's been a trick from the churches through the years to trick people into living in a state of constant fear and anxiety about the end of the world coming. And if you don't do this and live this way and go to church every Sunday and pay your dues, then you're going to hell. I think it's fucking bullshit. So I appreciate the message here. I know that you're trying to, spread love and a good message, but I just don't subscribe to that shit. I don't. So, and I could be wrong. Maybe I'll end up in hell myself for doubting that. But I think that there is a God. I think that there is a creator. It's just not the story that we've been told. Because here's the thing. Why would they tell us the truth about that, but lie about everything else? And speaking of lies, here's a big lie. So here's the turtle. And again, if you don't believe the same as I do, that's okay. That's okay. Or you can leave. Either one I'm fine with. But either way is fine. Jor says, it does not matter how slowly you go as long as you do not stop. One of my favorite quotes. Maybe my favorite, top 3. But anyways, there's a turtle. An orange turtle, to be specific. An orange turtle. And what the heck? Test. Okay, we got the right mic. What the hell happened there? Okay, well, it looks like my audio is working. Hello? 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 Oh, shit. There we go. Okay. Whoops. All right. So the turtle here, check this out. I want you to look at this carefully. Look at this guy. You see this? You see the pattern there? I also learned today that the turtle shell, I'm sure some people know this. There's a lot of smart people who watch the show, but some of this stuff is new to me. But I learned that the turtle shell is actually the same as your fingernail. It's made up of the same material as your fingernail, obviously to protect the turtle. But that's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about the design back here. You see that? You see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. You see the outer rings here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 12 times 2-ish. So what does this mean? What are you getting at, Joe? Or what are you trying to say? What are you leading into here? Well, let's take a look. Let's take a look at what I'm talking about here. This is mind-blowing. Well, it was to me anyways. Some people are gonna be like, nah, that's lame. That's lame. But not me. I'm a nerd. I like this stuff. Okay, here we go. Let's bring this up. Let's see what we're talking about. Turtles today. And see how another lie we've been told. And again, I know some people might think this is stupid or crazy, but that's okay. That's okay. So let's get this on.
Found out something completely shocking about turtles. And I honestly think they're trolling us at this point because the natural world doesn't have time. Time doesn't actually exist, right? What the natural world has is rhythm. So time is a measurement of rhythm, but time doesn't exist. Clocks exist. Now, here's the crazy part. Turtles. I thought when I saw this post about lunar.
Oh yeah, I want to restart that because even though we're talking about turtles here, that's I've never heard anybody explain it like that before. I've heard a lot of people say that time is an illusion, or what is time? It's just a human construct. So that's one way to think about it. But I really like the way he put that in the sense of time is an illusion, but clocks exist. So what time does is it measures rhythms, tick, tock, tick, tock. That's what time measures. But what is time, and what is our perception of time versus what it really is? So let's listen to that again.
Completely shocking about turtles. And I honestly think they're trolling us at this point because the natural world doesn't have time. Time doesn't actually exist, right? What the natural world has is rhythm. So time is a measurement of rhythm, but time doesn't exist. Clocks exist. Now, here's the crazy part. Turtles. I thought when I saw this post about lunar calendar on a turtle's back, that it was like some turtles, right? There's 13 carapaces in the middle of their shell, and there's 28 along the edge of their shell, segments of their shell. 13 moons, 28 days on turtle shells. This equals 364 days plus 1 day of rest. All indigenous peoples around the world knew the wisdom of the turtle and followed a 13-month calendar, as there are 13 moon cycles in a year and 27 to 29 days per cycle. It appears that 1 month was subtracted in order to sever the connection between people with the sun, the moon, and the stars, which are themselves a giant clock. But what I found out was it's every single turtle and tortoise. Sea turtles, the same thing. A giant clock on their backs. So we're talking about the Fibonacci sequence is in the turtles, of course, as it is in all biological life forms. But the calendar is also on every single turtle's back. And you may be thinking, well, why would they change the calendar? Well, yes, to sever the connection, to alter our perception, our vibration, our reality, just a little bit more. Another thing we have never been told about in school. Isn't that interesting? Instead, we're hearing about Pythagorean theorem and carbon emissions, and they don't tell us anything about this natural world. Shocking. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below and follow for more.
What? So how cool is that? And there's another part of this too. So think about those numbers there. 13 and 28. So 13 cycles, 13 moon cycles, I think he said, 28 days apart, which also aligns with some other things, some other cycles that some of us may be a little bit more familiar with than others. But the question there was why? Why didn't they teach us this? Why did they change the clocks, the calendars? And I really like how he said just to throw us out of rhythm a little bit more. And if you look at how many things like this that have been human constructs of how our reality is and how they've just changed it ever so slightly just to make humans be less connected with nature, less connected to each other, less connected to a higher power. All these little things, even though it seems like a small thing, going from 13 cycles to 12 months, even though it seems like a pretty small thing, these are the things that have kept humans at a lower vibration and kept humans from uncovering the truth and passing on truth for all these years now. But isn't that amazing? Every turtle, and I asked Gemini about it. I said, is this true? Of course, Gemini said, well, it's an old tale of the indigenous people believe that this is on the turtle's back, and it's not all turtles. It's just kind of a myth. So a couple lessons to be learned there. Number one, we've been lied to about everything. Number two, even if you fact check with AI is not your source of truth here. I want people to be very aware of that. I think most people here are, but just be aware of that. Just because AI tells you something, that's not gospel. That's not the reality of things. You have to, you have to find some other sources than just AI. And I think that's actually going to be a big problem in the future. Is like, we've already kind of been through that already with the fact checkers. The 4% we talked about yesterday, who literally dedicate their lives to, lying to people, fact checking or writing papers to discredit this, this source. So that number there, 13. It's interesting. I keep hearing about this number 13. It's interesting to me because, again, another lie we've been told is that the number 13 is unlucky, right? That everybody knows that the number 13 is unlucky, and they took it as far as this. There's a lot of buildings in this world that actually don't have a floor 13. If you look on the elevator, it goes from 12 to 14. Many hotels, many buildings don't have a 13th floor. And a lot of hotels or motels, they don't have a room 13 because they tell us that it's unlucky. But why? Why? Man, it's so sinister what they have done and what they're doing and are trying to continue to do. But the good news is, like the internet here, this stuff, the genie's not going back in the bottle, my friends. The genie's not going back in the bottle. We are fucking back. We are back. And so the number 13 is actually not unlucky at all. It's actually these connections here. And I think it's the connection to feminine energy. I think in a couple different things I've seen here. So number one, I just talked about like the cycles of a female, 13 cycles a year. But also when you think about Jesus, there's this comment here from Tarek about Jesus. Think about Jesus. Everybody knows that Jesus, well, not everybody knows, but most people would know that Jesus had 12 apostles. But what I've seen is that there's actually 13 of them. There's actually 13. Who was the 13th? Who was the 13th? Who is the 13th apostle with Jesus? Mary. So Mary just got cut out of the equation there. There's only 12. But Mary got left out of that equation there because she was the 13th, which is also another connection to the feminine energy. And I think what that represents to me, like when you think about like feminine energy, it's kind of like got a negative connotation to it, but that's not really the point, whether it's masculine or feminine or anything. It's just that they intentionally make cuts like that. Like they try to make disconnections from us beings and the universe, nature. And everybody knows, like the woman, nature doesn't work without a woman. But it's just all these little things, just like they seem so small, so insignificant, but it's everywhere. So 13, and it's so funny to me because I'm seeing some comments here, but it's so funny that they just like so blatantly lie, and they do that with so many things. They do that with so many things. If you look at like what they did to Michael Jackson, to me anyways, this is just my opinion. This is my perception. It's not right or wrong. It's just how I see it. But what they did to Michael Jackson was exactly what they did to Jesus. Michael Jackson actually, I shouldn't say it was better or worse. Both of them were absolutely horrific. And that's what the lengths that these people will go to stop this. So what happened with Jesus? He got crucified. He carried the cross. They pegged him to it. Just imagine that. And it wasn't like an execution where they took him out behind the barn because they wanted to get rid of him. They made an example of him. They hung him to a cross so that everybody could see, whatever this guy's doing, you're not doing that anymore. Whatever vibration he's on, you're not doing that anymore. For the whole town of Bethlehem to see, or not Bethlehem, Nazareth, the whole town to see. So that's what crucifying is. It's not just killing somebody, it's making an example of them. And what they do to Michael Jackson, they did the exact same thing. Michael Jackson was vibrating on a different level than anybody else. He was reaching people. He was connecting people. He was spreading the message, the gospel, you might say, in his songs, because that's what we've been talking about here. Words are very powerful. Words are like spells. And you combine that with frequencies that they have in music. That's how they've had these subliminal programming and messages in the music for years. And Michael Jackson knew that, but he took the flip side of that. He was doing it in a positive way, not a negative way like we've seen from the record labels. So there was that. There was the message that he was spreading, the vibration that he was on, the fact that he was buying up all these rights to the music. So what'd they do to Michael Jackson? They crucified him in a different way. They basically told the whole world that this guy's a pedophile. And then he died of a drug overdose. And so what do people think now when they think of Michael Jackson? They don't think about everything that he did for the good. They think about him as a pedophile. Could you imagine a worse legacy to have than that? And then you actually watch the interviews of the kids that were at Neverland Ranch, like Macaulay Culkin, like Aaron Carter. There's all these different interviews with these kids basically saying that this guy was not at all what people think he was. He was the nicest human being. He never did anything wrong. In fact, it was the exact opposite of that. And then you hear the story of Aaron Carter telling in an interview, he's talking about his mom and dad who are like sitting with these FBI agents. And so Aaron Carter, which is the little brother of Nick Carter, a Backstreet Boy, but he was kind of on, part of the Disney crew. And so this is just kind of my theory on it. I think there's a lot of people that agree with this. But Michael Jackson, he knew what was going on. He knew what was happening with the Disney kids, with the child actors. He knew what was happening. And so what he did, he went through the exact same thing in his childhood. He had his childhood stolen from him. I've heard him talk about this several times in interviews. So what he wanted to do is give these kids their childhood back. Kids like Macaulay Culkin, like Aaron Carter, like all these kids. So he would take them to the ranch. And oh man, there's so much to this. But anyways, Aaron Carter was basically telling a story of how his parents were sitting in a room with the FBI agents. And Aaron Carter's parents were basically telling him to say that Michael did something to you or Michael did this because they wanted money. They wanted a payout. Michael Jackson had a huge settlement with a kid who had some sort of claim that Michael did this, and Michael Jackson and his team just threw money at it instead of having to go through the whole, process of it. And so Aaron Carter, when he was a kid, he remembers his parents like basically nudging him to say something that Michael Jackson did this to him so that they could, frame him. So it's the same kind of thing to me. It's a crucifixion, obviously different, less physical agony, but like absolute torture either way. What Michael Jackson had to go through before his overdose, it was absolutely nuts. And but I'm seeing this a lot of accounts and a lot of platforms. It seems like things are changing. It seems like the real story about Michael Jackson is being told. And there's a lot of information coming out about what actually happened and what this man actually was. So it's interesting. It's interesting. And Jenny sent in $5 and she said, lies, they all lie. I mean, that's where you start. That's what the show today was all about. Is like, I just think it's so interesting now that we have the ability to discover this stuff. And I mean, we're talking about Michael Jackson here, but you could apply to Jesus, you could apply to Marcus Aurelius. You know, we have the ability now, I think, to find out the truth about some things. And I think it's a worthwhile cause to like look into this stuff. And, you know, you have to find the right balance too, because if you're looking into stuff that really has no implication on your life at all, then you're really just wasting your time. But if you're trying to figure things out that would actually be a benefit to you in some way, I think that's a very worthwhile cause. And so what I want to try to do here with this show and going forward with the new thing that we're doing in August is shine light on all this stuff in a very, you know, in a very not playful way, but, you know, it doesn't have to be bad. It doesn't have to be scary. It doesn't have to be like a thing. It's just like, here's what it is, just like objective information. And then you can kind of interpret that how you want to. But when you think about how all this stuff ties together and how we've been lied to about everything and how connected we should be with nature and how disconnected we've been with nature because of the lies. And how does that relate to Bitcoin? Well, there's a couple different things I say. Number one, the only reason that we're able to perpetrate these lies and spread this propaganda is because they own the distribution channels, the media. Why? How do they own the media? Because they can print money. Again, we did a little thought experiment yesterday saying, imagine if you had 24 hours and you had the ability to print money. Imagine how much power you'd have. That's what these people have had for hundreds of years and beyond. So they control the message. They change the history. They control the future. They decide what gets told to you, what you see. So fiat enabled that. In a Bitcoin world, on a Bitcoin standard, that doesn't happen anymore. There's no ability to print money, to fund media, to tell lies. No ability to do that anymore. Number two is we have this thing called the time chain, where you can put information on there. You put data on there and you can send sats, you can add data to it, but it's all just data. It's communication. That's what money is. It's an IOU from me to you saying, you did this for me, and so I owe you this now. That's money. So we have a base layer called the time chain, the Bitcoin network, where nobody can change it because that information is being stored on tens of thousands of computers and servers around the world. You can't burn a library down and get rid of all this information anymore. And I don't think that people understand the magnitude of what that means for society. Because again, if you subscribe to the fact that we've been lied to about everything, how have they been able to do that? Money printing and burning books and burning libraries. They can't do that anymore. So yes, Bitcoin is a money. But imagine if you had this network where you could put things on there, information on there that nobody had the ability to delete. I'm not saying you need to have pictures. I'm not saying you need to have all this dumb shit on there, but it is just data. Even when you send Bitcoin to somebody else, all you're sending is data. And the third part of how Bitcoin relates to this is that Bitcoin is in line with nature. Energy is neither created nor destroyed. It is only transferred. Energy is neither created nor destroyed. It is only transferred. Bitcoin aligns with that. Bitcoin aligns with the laws of the universe, the laws of thermodynamics. Fiat doesn't. Why? Because somebody has the ability to create units that they can use to buy things with and exchange value with someone else. That's creating energy. You can't create energy. Fiat goes against nature. Fiat goes against the laws of physics. Bitcoin is not the case. You can't create Bitcoin. All the Bitcoin already exists. Bitcoin already exists. It's just a way to measure it. And so January 3rd, 2009, when the very first block was mined, 21 million Bitcoin have actually existed ever since then. All that's happening now is that it's transferring. It goes from my mail slot to yours. When a new block is mined, it's transferred from the Coinbase to the wallet, Coinbase transaction. Nothing's being created. Nobody has the ability to create this. But also, here's the thing, is it takes real energy from the real world to create that, to mine. Every single Bitcoin that's been mined so far has been done so with real energy, which means that if you have hydro, you have a bunch of water out there and you're using that to mine Bitcoin, that's energy being transferred from that to Bitcoin, to the network. It's not being created, it's being transferred. And that's a case with anything. If you plug your miner into the wall, you're taking physical energy and you're trying to mine Bitcoin. You're passing that energy to the Bitcoin network. It's not being created. There's nothing being created here. It's all just being transferred. But in fiat, to create a fiat dollar in 2026, it takes zero energy, which means they are creating it. They're trying to create energy. Doesn't work. Does not work. So it's that's how Bitcoin aligns with what we're talking about here, because it brings us back to reality. That's when I say today you can exchange 1 unit of illusion for 1,600 units of reality. That's what I'm talking about. The 1 unit of illusion was created out of nothing. Nothing. That's why it's an illusion. The 1,600 units, those weren't created out of nothing. Those took real physical energy that was transferred from the physical world into the digital world. That's reality. And to me, that's the signal here. That's the signal. The noise is the fiat price. Why is it noise? Because again, what is the fiat price? You're comparing Bitcoin to fiat. You're comparing reality to an illusion. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't matter. I mean, it matters kind of day to day. If you are somebody who's using Bitcoin and living off Bitcoin, yes, it matters, of course. But for everybody else who understands what's going on here, that's the real signal. And that's what you need to focus on, is accumulating units of reality. And what was that other thing that we called it last week? Network equity? What was that? That was my favorite thing we've done so far. I just love that. I think it's right here. A stoic and systematic accumulation of network of equity. So this is the operating framework. If you haven't taken a screenshot of this one yet, you should, because this is my favorite slide that I've ever created or seen before in Bitcoin. Mostly this, I mean, all four of them are great, but like these first two here, these are so important to understand. The measurement of wealth. In fiat, you measure the nominal units, but in Bitcoin, you measure the percentage of the total network supply. So different. So different. And again, if you agree with me that Bitcoin will eventually measure the world, if we're going to be pricing things in Satoshis at some point in the future, then this is whatever amount of sats that you have, that's your total percentage of the network. And that network is essentially the world. If we're measuring things in sats, that network is the world. That's your percentage of the world. Because this is aligns with nature. That's why I say that, because this aligns with nature. It takes physical energy from the real world, from the physical world, brings it onto the digital world for us to keep an honest, transparent ledger that nobody can control, nobody can change, nobody can manipulate. That is reality. That has nothing to do with humans. Fiat's just like, you know, you have $1 million in your bank account. What's your percentage of the network? It's going to change in 1 second because they're going to print $1 billion in 1 second from now. It's always changing. This isn't. This does not change. It's impossible to change this. And then here's what I was talking about here, the reaction to volatility, the noise. That's when people are really sad that their net worth dropped 50% in a year, but you're still measuring it in fiat. That only dropped in fiat measurement. So you're panic. You're trying to figure out what the hell is going on. Was I wrong about Bitcoin? Did Jor lie to me? But if you understand what's happening here, it's just a stoic, systematic accumulation of equity. Equity in the world. Your equity of the globe, of the global productivity. That's a fucking mind melter right there. Whatever amount of sats that you have, that's your percentage of the world's productivity. And I don't know about you, but I think we're going to get a little bit more productive as time goes on here. Sorry, I missed a lot of comments here, but I was going off. Little Friday rant, you know? You know what I mean? I don't know if that was a rant. That was just fun. That's the shit I love. I love thinking. I love thinking about this stuff. I like trying to put pieces together here. Okay, we got Joshua is here, the king himself. He says, Arn, fucking liberals don't got their greasy talons into me today, eh? Happy pre-4th of July to my patriotic friends down south. Real Canadians know. Amen to that. Amen to that, Josh. Good to see you, brother. Good to see you, Josh, back in the chat with a King Zap today on Fat Zap Friday. Thank you, Josh. Great to see you, my friend. Great to see you. Josh says, Scotty and Letha, wow, what an epic time to be here. So many fucking legends. Amen. Yes, Mateo. That was the other thing I was trying to think of as I was going through that. Mateo said 13 and 666 are the secret rhythm of the universe. And we were taught to be fearful of those two numbers, 13 and 666. So here's the thing. And this is why I think this is important. This is why I want to be talking about this stuff on the show here, because you see these things, you see things like the turtle and you're like, wow. Like just, oh man, there's just so many things like that, like snowflakes. There's no two snowflakes that are the same. Fingerprints, no two fingerprints are the same. Turtles have a fucking, the Earth's calendar on their back. And you sit here and think, yeah, it was a big bang. You know what I mean? And like from my vantage point here, like I've always struggled with this because we used to go to church as kids and none of it made sense to me. And I knew that I wasn't an atheist because I just believed that there was some sort of higher power. But like there's people out there who don't believe that there's a God. There's people out there who think that this whole thing just happened by accident. There's no fucking way. There's no fucking way that there was just a little spark in the universe at some point, and we all just kind of came from that. No, man. Life is too perfect. Nature is way too perfect for any of this to be an accident. And what they try to do is they try to convince you that this is just an accident, the Big Bang Theory. And they try to make you feel like you're insignificant. They make you feel like you're just powerless. Because when you're in that state, when you're on a very low vibration, that's when they can control you. And that's their whole goal. Their whole goal is just to control you. And so they lie to you, they try to divide you, and they print money to make you work harder for less to continue vibrating on a very low level. That's their whole goal. And when I say they, the sick thing is that there's people out there who have known this their entire lives. And I think that what I was getting at there with the 13 and the 666, because we talked about the 666 about a month ago now. But it's like you need to look into this stuff, and you can't just be like one day, wow, turtles have a calendar on their back. You have to like keep going, and you have to keep tying things together. And that's the only way that you build this into a real thing in your life where you can start vibrating on a higher frequency, a higher vibration, is by talking about this stuff every day and thinking about this stuff every day. Repetition. So yeah, this, I don't know, man. I don't know if there's anybody else in the Bitcoin space that's like talking about this kind of stuff. I think that there is, maybe, but I'm just absolutely fascinated by it. And so that's going to be kind of like the new the new show, and I hope that you enjoy it. I'm guessing just by the amount of support. I know it's Fat Zap Friday today, but again, the zaps, the memberships, the rants, those are a signal to me that says, hey, Jor, I enjoyed the show today. Keep doing more of this. And it's just crazy to me. Like, there's 8 billion people on this planet, 8 billion people. There's 15 people watching this stream on YouTube, 15, 1-5. And I'm not discounting the people that are here. I think that you're absolute fucking legends among men and women. But like, it's so sick to me that there's this information out there and like nobody cares or they suppress the information. I don't know what it is, but either way, this is to me the most interesting shit ever. And so we're going to keep digging. We're going to keep doing some looking into here. We're going to keep sniffing around. The other thing too is like, to me, so I talked about Bitcoin being the layer of truth, the foundation, the bedrock of a fair, honest, transparent society. But again, we're not going to be putting pictures on the blockchain. We're not going to be putting videos on the blockchain. So what do we do? What do we have to do ourselves to make sure that the information that we uncover here is going to be passed down to our children? To make sure that they can't burn down Instagram or they can't burn down YouTube and unplug it and delete everything. What do we got to do? I was thinking about that too. What do we need to do? I don't know, because I can't really just keep a little portfolio of like my links from Instagram, because if Instagram gets shut down, then they're all gone. Or if an account gets suspended, it's all gone. So you got to think about this yourself. You got to think about, how am I going, if you're with me here, how am I going to do this? How am I going to organize this information? How am I going to ensure that my kids are going to be able to access this? If something were to happen to me, because probably if you're like me, you're like the weirdo in your family. Not the weirdo, bad word. The legend in your family is what I should have said. But I want to make sure that whatever I leave here, what I leave, this information is part of that. And it's going to be a collection of things probably for the next 20 years. But you can't wait for 20 years and then try to organize it all after that. You have to kind of have some sort of strategy of like how you're going to capture this. And I don't have the answer to it. What I've thought of was showing these clips and things that we find, showing it on YouTube, keeping a copy of that for myself. And I mean, you could do this too. I've done this with other YouTubers before, where I actually take the hard copy of the video and save it to my own drive. So that to me would make sense, because if I do the video, if I show the clip, that clip's now on my video, I keep a copy of that. And then it doesn't matter if YouTube or Instagram shuts down, I still have a copy of that video with that information. It's interesting. Anyways, Moravian says, today even Wisp on iOS was able to pick up the stream. Wow, okay. We're buzzing. We're buzzing on, we're officially back on Noster. We are back, baby. We are absolutely back. Okay, so I missed Jenny here. Did Jenny also get another? Did Jenny get a double as well? Jenny sent the $5. And Jenny sent a membership. And who got it? If you're watching this, oh, maybe not. Hold on. Did somebody get the membership? If you're watching on Rumble right now, we got what? 32 people over there. If you're watching this and you're not a member over there, all you got to do is just say something, and Jenny will buy you a membership. It's already bought and paid for. Okay, let's check on some chats here, and then I got to go. We're already 10 minutes late of what I wanted to do today. Mark says, now we're waiting on the Daryl Sittler 10-point game. So that would be like a triple hat trick +1. It's probably been done before. Nah, maybe not. No, because the hard thing would be 3 zaps and 3 fiat zaps, because there's been people here like Josh, Sats and Sunsets, Jenny, I think Captain. Was it Captain? that have bought like 5 memberships at a time. So that would be the membership part would be covered, but then you'd have to have 3 big zaps and 3 rants on Rumble. Anyways, we're going to get through some stuff here. Yes, Jenny did. Jenny hit another hat trick. Jenny hit another hattie today. We got 2 double hatties today from Jenny and from Sats and Sunsets. So Jenny with a Jenny zap. Wow, this is going to be a hard one to keep track of today. But we're going to have to do it right away. So Jenny, with the second double hattie of the day, it's just like when the first 4-minute mile was broken, and then the next day somebody else broke it. Sats and Sunsets broke the seal with the double hattie today, and Jenny with number 2. So here it is, the Satoshi hat trick. Jenny legendary. And we're gonna do that one more time because I want to give I think it's kind of fun to just watch. You know, it's more rare when you just see it with the hatties, but we had 2 double hatties today, so we're gonna play that one more time just in honor of Jenny and Sats and Sunsets for the double hattie today. We're gonna watch it one more time for to commemorate 2 double hatties in the same show. Here we go. Keep an eye on the assist here. Keep an eye on how this assist goes in the net. Does it? Oh, Sats and Sunset said Paulie got it. Okay, there we go. All right, let's get to some chats here. I guess we're working overtime. You guys paid me to stay here overtime today, so we're going to stay here overtime today. Bitcoin Barber is here. Good morning, Bitcoin Barber. Was there even a person named Jesus? Yeah, I believe there was. I believe that he was a real person. No doubt about that. Well, I shouldn't say no doubt, but I think his name was it Jesus, or was it I don't know. Jesus of Nazareth. That's what a lot of people know him as. I believe that he was a real person. We don't know what he looks like, though. And the crazy thing from what I've seen and read about Jesus is that like a whole portion of his life is missing. Like from what was the age that his last sighting was? Like 8? And then we didn't see him till he was like 30 or something? I got to find out now. But there was a big chunk of Jesus's life that is just like totally undocumented from what I've seen anyways. Again, I don't know if I'm right. I don't know if anything that I'm saying is right. This is just what I've seen myself. Gemini. See if the internet gods, what they tell us about Jesus. How many years of Jesus' life was undocumented? $18 years. 18 years. So it says the period of Jesus' life that is not detailed in the New Testament, often referred to as the lost years, silent years, or hidden life, spans approximately 18 years. So while the canonical Gospels provide accounts of his birth and an incident at the temple when he was 12 years old, there is no biblical record of his life between the ages of 12 and 30. When his public ministry began. In summary, the undocumented portion of his life encompasses the transition from childhood through his late 20s, totaling nearly 2 decades of silence in the historical and biblical narrative. That's kind of weird to me, isn't it? It's weird. There is no hell. I agree with that too. I agree with that one. I don't think that there is. Like, what would hell be? What would hell be? I believe that hell is every day is either heaven or hell for you. You get to decide that. Could be wrong. Could be wrong. Sats and Sunset says time is an abstract concept created by carbon-based life forms to monitor their own decay. Wow, where'd you get that from? That's an interesting one. So that explains the Earth being on the back of a giant turtle theory. Scotty boy, hey, there's Growing Our Way. Nice to see you. And Jenny with the membership, and Polly was the recipient of it. Yes, you are correct, Sats and Sunsets. I didn't see that. Growing Our Way, great to see you, my friend. Let's give a shout out today. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? This is what we're going to do. So Chuck, yesterday, Chuck was the highest zapper. And I'm not sure. I might have to take a look at I think Chuck still holds the title. Unless something crazy happened today in my Lightning wallet. But Chuck sent me an email yesterday and he said, hey, Jor, I don't really have anything to promote. So just give it to somebody else in the community. That can be their gift from me. So what we're going to do, actually, and I'm really glad that I remembered that. So what we're going to do today for every week, the biggest zapper of the week gets their own custom banner. So this was Ginger's from 2 weeks ago. We didn't do it last week, I don't think. We had some shit going on. So let's, what can I do here? I'm going to leave Ginger's up there. I don't want to delete that yet. I'm going to delete this one. So I'm going to say this, subscribe to the Growing Our Way YouTube channel, documenting their homestead. Their homestead in, I believe it's Australia, right? In Australia. That could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's Australia. So that's from Chuck today. That's a gift from Chuck as the highest zapper of the week. The highest daily zapper of the week was Chuck. So where's my subscriptions here? Growing Our Way. There it is. So here is the YouTube channel here. I know YouTube is hard on people when they start, but I feel like that channel deserves way more action than it has right now. So that is Growing Our Way. I'll put the link here in YouTube for my friends on YouTube. I'll share this link with Rumble. And yes, this is that's on Rumble now. And here it is on Zapstream. So make sure, I'm going to take a little inventory here. Make sure you go over there. Take a minute. We're going to take a little wee break here. Kinda. But take a minute right now. Otherwise, you're going to forget. So whether you're watching on YouTube, Rumble, Zapstream, head over to Growing Our Way. They currently have 29 subscribers. And so we're going to audit them. We got 30 right now. Let's see if we can get 5, 10, 15 more. I know that there's like probably 60 to 65 people watching on the different channels. So we can get at least 5 or 10 right now. And so it's a Bitcoiner in Australia documenting his homestead. Really good videos. Really, really fun to watch if you're into that kind of stuff, which I am. And so, yeah, head over to Growing Our Way and subscribe to their channel. And that is courtesy of Chuck. Chuck said to give it to somebody, and we decided that Growing Our Way was going to be the recipient today. Sin says that's hilarious because whether they say there is or is not a 13th floor, no matter what, if you count the floors, there is still a 13th. Exactly. That's the stupid part. It's not like there's a whole floor there with just nothing on it. It's like there's the 12th floor and then there's the 13th floor. It doesn't matter what the number is on it. That's still the 13th floor. And I think hospitals are like that too, if I'm not mistaken. 4 and 9 are 13 in Japan. 4 and 9 are 13 in Japan. Oh, 4 plus 9, mind blown. What the hell does that mean, Scotty? 4 and 9 are 13. I don't know what that means. Paulie says, hands off my sats, Jenny rocks. An elite cabal has stolen our 13th virgin turtle cycles to keep us in the dark and on the reg. Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. They want to shut your mind talking about Justin Bieber. Well, let's watch that. Let's see what we're going overtime today. Fuck it. Let's see what Alex Jones has to say about Justin Bieber, Magellan, and the secrets of the universe.
And your children are turned into mindless vassals who now they look up to some twit instead of looking up to Thomas Jefferson or looking up to Nikola Tesla or looking up to Magellan. I mean, kids, Magellan's a lot cooler than Justin Bieber. He circumnavigated with one ship the entire planet. He was killed by wild natives before they got back to Portugal. And when they got back, there was only like 11 people alive of the 200 and something crew, and the entire ship was rotting down to the waterline. That's destiny. That's will. That's striving. That's being a trailblazer and explorer. Going into space, mathematics, quantum mechanics, the secrets of the universe. It's all there. Life is fiery with its beauty. It's incredible detail. Tuning into it. They want to shatter your mind talking about Justin Bieber.
So freaking good. So freaking good. You know, okay, we're going to do this now. This is a good day for it. It just feels right. We're going to do this right here, right now. Let's see how easy this is going to be for me to do. Everyone's like, what the fuck's he going to be doing now? What's this foolish fool doing now? There it is. And this is why you keep an inventory of stuff. This is why you got to keep things in. This is why you got to keep things organized. This exact moment right here, right now. So I found this a while ago, and I've been meaning to share it. But actually, Sats and Sunsets, I'm pretty sure shared it on the school. I'm pretty sure it was Sats and Sunsets a little while ago. But okay, how can I do this here? Copy. There we go. Thank you. Spank you. Okay, man. I've been kind of oh no. What am I doing? There we go. Okay. We're going to watch this now. We're going to get through these messages. We're going to watch this video. And Sin, exactly. This is exactly what I'm saying here. Sin gets it. Surprise, surprise. Sin gets it. Okay. Well, we got 35. We got 35. And, you know, as the video was playing there, I noticed something. A couple things, actually. A couple things I noticed. Number one, right before we did this, right before we did the subscribe to Growing Our Way YouTube channel, this banner here, Growing Our Way actually sent in a big zap for the show. Right before that happened. I didn't see it. I just noticed it right after. So they sent in a zap, and then I shutted out the channel here from Chuck. And that's good, good energy for the universe. They sent some value this way. I sent some value back. That's what life's all about. And it was at 11:11 as well. So it was from Growing Our Way. It was a shot of espresso, 5637. I don't know what the significance of that number is, but it says, Growing Our Way, the truth is out there. Frickin' men. And like Sin said here, if you start telling the truth and have a large enough platform to move the masses, you will be crucified. In one way or another. Either fucking nailed to a cross or called a pedophile with every major media company putting the word out there. Both of those are forms of crucifixion. They're basically saying, we don't want you to be doing this anymore, and we don't want anybody to do what you're doing in the future. So we're going to make an example of you for everybody to see. Well said. Exactly. Sin said, "But man, I missed a lot of good comments here. Wow, this could be a long show today. We'll see. We'll see. It's Friday. Fuck it." Sin said, "By the way, it pays to refer to the lyrics of Cult of Personality by Living Color every now and then." Never heard of that one, Sin. Cult of Personality. We're gonna have a whole page here of support on this Fat Zap Friday today. Cult of Personality by Living Color. Never heard of that one. Okay, here we go. Jenny says, why have women been pushed down biblically for so long? Mary, people say women aren't allowed to preach, a situation taken 1,000% out of context, and then they totally ignore women preaching in Acts. See, that's what we were talking about. The 12 apostles, Mary was left out of that. And what's 12 plus 1? 12 apostles plus Mary, 13. Unlucky 13, we're told. Unlucky 13. And the cycles in a year, the moon cycles in one calendar year is 13. We were told 12. 12 months. The thing that really pisses me off more than anything else is the fact that I spent so much of my life not knowing this stuff. I just can't even imagine how different my life would be right now if I had known this stuff 10, 20, or really early on as kids. And, you know, if you are somebody like me who is probably going to be having kids soon, or you have young kids, I don't need to tell you this, I'm sure. But like kids between the ages of 1 and 5 are just like fucking, they have nothing in their brains. They have nothing that they have no filter of anything. So whatever you're feeding them at those ages from like 0 to 5, and then probably beyond that, but especially like the first 5 years, it's so important that you tell them not the right things or the wrong things, but just, oh man. And then you listen to people like Michael Jackson talk, and he talks about children, and actually so did Jesus. Jesus, from what I've seen and read about Jesus, is he was just absolutely fascinated by children. And he basically said, just let children do whatever they want to do. Don't tell them yes or no or right or wrong. Just let children do what they want to do, or what they're doing. As long as they're not harming anybody, as long as they're not harming anybody else, just let children be. And Kanye West has talked about that too. I know there's some people in the community here that don't like Kanye, but he said that too. Ever since we're young kids, we've just been put into this box and put walls around us and saying, hey, you can't do that. That's all we ever get told as kids is you can't do that. You can't do that. Don't do that. And then when you grow up, that's all you have. You just have all these walls and these boxes around you because you've been told you can't do this your whole life. It's fucking crazy, man. It's so crazy. It's sad is what it is. And that's why I feel so, that's why I feel the need to talk about this stuff, because that's the only way that this stuff, spreads. Grell the Ghost says, I believe MJ was a good person. I don't think he was a good person. I think that he was like much, much, much bigger than a good person. Jesus-like. Okay, we got 35 subscribers. We can keep going. Let's get some more in there. There's a lot of people in here right now on the different Rumbles and YouTubes and Zap streams. We can get a little bit higher there. Go show some love. Go show some love and support to our Australian friend here, doing things the right way, homesteading, documenting it, and just putting himself out there. It takes a lot of work. This stuff takes a lot of work. I know from firsthand here. And again, if you watch a video or a video pops up that you don't like, then you can always unsubscribe later. But always default to supporting sovereign individuals, supporting Bitcoiners, supporting just everybody who's here. That's what we need to do. That's the only way that we can win this whole thing is by doing that. Power and control. And then what eventually, I forgot about that too, because they did away with Aaron Carter. Women are incredibly powerful. It scares them. I have no doubt about that. I think you're absolutely right, Jenny. I think you're absolutely freaking right. Women are absolutely something. I mean, all life comes from a woman. All life, everything that we see, all the people that you've ever known, everything in your life is all from a woman. And I mean, then you go even further and you start thinking about how men are now women and women can be men and men can be pregnant. And it's just like, that's so stupid though. I think that they cross the line with that one. They can kind of fuck with the calendars and stuff. They can fuck with the numbers, but you try to tell somebody that men can get pregnant, and that's where you lose a lot of people. And what they've did actually, even in the last couple of years, what they've done to women is absolutely fucking disgraceful. The fact that they let these sick minds, that's because that's what they are. They're sick minds. They let them into these bathrooms with women. The bathrooms that have two genders in there. They let men, these sick men, into the washrooms, the change rooms. They let them play sports with them. It is absolutely disgusting what they have done to women. Absolutely disgusting. Saddle Millionaire says that I can kind of see the numbers here of the different streams, and I can tell that some people just show up to the stream and they're like, what the fuck is this guy talking about? I'm out of here. But that's okay. That's okay. Oh, look at this, Sin Deezy cracking some codes here. So we got 1 plus 3 plus 9 equals 13. That was January 3rd, 2009. 13. There's 13 people watching YouTube right now, too. And also the white paper, 10, 31, 08, 1, 3, 1, plus 8 equals 13. Yes. Sats and Sunset says, can only handle so many mind-blowing coincidences in a day, Sin. I love it. I absolutely love it. It really feels like, and I've had this feeling so many times in Bitcoin, it just feels like we have this secret that nobody else knows. It's available. It's available. There's so much information. Everything's transparent. There's nothing to hide. It's totally voluntary, but it just feels like we have this secret. We have this secret. And I guarantee you this. If you're watching this right now, July 3rd, 250 Eve, 2026, the day before the 250th anniversary of America. If you're watching this today and you have some Satoshis, if you have some units of reality and you can figure out how to protect those, you wake up in a decade, July 3rd, 2036, you will not have a single concern financially for the rest of your life, no matter what you have today. It doesn't matter. I really believe that. You could have 1 million sats, you could have 2 Bitcoin, you could have 20 Bitcoin. It doesn't matter. If you're watching this today, if you can hold on, if you can get through it, all the volatility, all the noise through the next decade, you and your family will never have one more concern about financial stuff ever again. And that's the secret. That's what I feel like the secret that we have right now. It's just who's going to be able to do it, who's going to be able to hold on that long, and who's going to be able to secure it. Growing Our Way says, I'm late to this party, but love the discussion. Is a human life created in the womb or a transfer of energy? I would say, me personally, and I know that there's people, it's a very fragile subject, and it shouldn't be. That's in my opinion, it shouldn't be. It's just the division. It's the tactics. It's it's their goal is to make people fight, make people argue, make people divided over topics like this. So I think that, me personally, I don't think it's really even a discussion. I think that if you just look at it objectively, you say that human life is created with the transfer of energy there. I just don't see any argument against that. From my vantage point here, and I know that there's different circumstances, and the whole topic itself is very fragile because there's 0.0001% of things that have happened that are bad in that regard. But I just don't think it's a discussion. I don't think it's a real discussion. To the richest dog alive. Oh, who's that? Arnie Boy? Alex must have sent some sass to Arnie Boy. Or the Rescue Dog Fund, I should say. What's my password on this phone? Okay. Both, yes. Both. I would agree with that. Yep. Papaya is right. This is what I'm saying. This is objective. Like, I just don't see how anybody could argue this, personally. Papaya said there is a literal spark of light when the sperm enters the egg. Okay, and yes, we got a shot of espresso from Alex today, from Forlex. Alex, aka Forlex. Amazing, isn't it? Isn't it? Speaking of the Big Bang Theory, the sperm and egg colliding. Truth is always stranger than fiction. No doubt about that. Alex said, Friday live show is awesome. Making good food. Making God food or good food. Either one. Watching Bitcoin show. Let's fucking go. Cheers to you, man. Cheers to you. Praetorian says he sent some sats. Thank you, Praetorian. I'm sorry, I haven't been able to keep up, but we've been having some good discussion here, so I don't want to, detract from that too much. Linda said, back the information on the USB. Exactly. And then keep, just like your Bitcoin private keys. Like, I really think that this, you might think I'm a little extreme here, but I really think that this sort of information is as important as your Bitcoin. Bitcoin really, when you think about it, Bitcoin is just information as well. Bitcoin represents the value that you provided to the world. It's a direct correlation. The sats that you have in your Bitcoin wallet, the private keys that you hold to that wallet, that's a representation of the value that you provided to the world in data form. And so I completely agree with Linda here. I think that if there's information that you think you want your kids and their kids and their kids to have, it needs to be backed up somewhere, and probably in multiple locations, just like what we do with the Citadel Vault. The reason why that Citadel Vault is so powerful, not because it's a nice machine or it's a nice piece of software or a really intuitive piece of software. Those are both true. But the real key to that whole process is the backups, the redundancies and the backups, to make sure that no matter what happens to anywhere that you have these, you're always going to be able to recover that information. That's the real, in my opinion, that's the real magic of the Citadel Vault. So yes, I completely agree with Linda here. You should have the information backed up on USB. Alex says, Jory, you are awesome. Keep up the streams. Thank you, my friend. I very much appreciate it. All the kids of Bitcoiners will be exponential. Food for thought. No doubt. No freaking doubt. That's what I'm saying. Paulie got it. Shatrix. Age 13 to 32 is missing. Again, the number 13. Kev says he was on earth for 33 years, then died and was resurrected back into heaven with his father. They said he died at age 33. There's a lot of significance with the number 33 too. Matt says, George, working overtime. Normally I would be watching the Pleb Underground lunchtime stream with Plastic. Yeah, we're well over time, and I got to do the Maple stream in like an hour from now. But you guys showed up today. You guys have been supporting. And so, okay, yes, put this in the chat. I'm just seeing these now. Okay, we got 36. We can do better. If you go over there and subscribe to Growing Our Way, put it in the chat just so I know that you took the time to do it, so I can give you some love. So thank you, Sats and Sunsets. Thank you, Jenny, for the Memby. Sats and Sunset says hat-trick shouldn't count if no one gets the membership. Should have some sort of difficulty. Jenny says we can't control if new peeps come in Sats and Sunsets. we got some debate here. I'm gonna have to. I don't like picking sides. But I will. I'm gonna have to side with Jenny here. She's right, because either way, I still get the support. Whether somebody claims the membership or not, I still get the support for that. So that's, for me, anyways, that's most important. And Jenny's right. I do think that, the difficulty though is that you can do it. Like, that's the difficulty, that you can send a zap and that you can, buy memberships. Probably the zap's the hardest one for most people. But I'm going to have to, sorry, Sats and Sunsets. I'm going to have to side with Jenny here. I don't think that we can control that. Jenny says age 12 to 30. Jenny was right. Jenny was right. Thank you, Legend. I appreciate you. Of course, man. Of course. Linda subscribed too. So we got Sats and Sunsets. We got Linda. We got Praetorian. We got Mark. There we go. We got Jenny. Look at that. That's why I love this freaking group of people here. Head over to Growing Our Way and subscribe and let us know in the chat when you do. Lucky number 13 is my helmet number in the fire department. Nice. Oh, unlucky numbers are 4 and 9. Really? That's Japanese? Freaking Japanese are messing with you, Scotty. Why not use the banner in support of the victims of the earthquake that hit Venezuela last week and consider making a donation to help families affected? Didn't know about it. I mean, I did know about it, but I didn't. You were a little bit late there, Sato. But yes, if you are on Nostr, I think there's a couple different accounts that are accepting donations on behalf of Venezuela for their the tragedy that happened there with the earthquake. Scotty Boy subbed. Linda said, lunch break over. Much love, everyone. Thanks for coming in, Linda. Mark said, did you get my zap? Oh man, I'm sure. I'm sorry. We've been wrapped up here today. I'm sorry to everybody who sent in a zap and I disregarded. I haven't been doing it intentionally. We've just been lost in the sauce today. So I'm sure that we received them. Let me go through these here. We're gonna actually, this is what I'm gonna do. So Marco said, okay, we're at the bottom. Marco said Milankovic's calendar, the revised Julian calendar, is considered the most accurate solar calendar ever created because it aligns almost perfectly with nature. I think if nothing else today that we've kind of uncovered as a step on this journey is that whatever aligns with nature wins. That's what you want. You want to align yourself most with nature, whatever that looks like to you. And there's a lot of different things we're going to be talking about in the coming days, weeks, and probably even years. But I think that's the main takeaway for today. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to go through these apps right now. I'm going to play this video. And then I'm going to come back to report the zaps. But this is a good way to get out of here on a Friday. Here it is. This is the raw version of it, of the intro that we have here. This is the raw version. Here we go.
The football, the basketball, the Lady Gaga, the Justin Bieber, who gives you these carbon tax messages. They tell your kids they got to love Justin Bieber, and then Bieber says, hand in your guns, pass the Cybersecurity Act, and the police state's good, and then your children are turned into mindless vassals who now they look up to some twit instead of looking up to Thomas Jefferson or looking up to Nikola Tesla or looking up to Magellan. I mean, kids, Magellan's a lot cooler than Justin Bieber. He circumnavigated with one ship the entire planet. He was killed by wild natives before they got back to Portugal. And when they got back, there was only like 11 people alive of the 200 and something crew, and the entire ship was rotting down to the waterline. That's destiny. That's will. That's striving. That's being a trailblazer and explorer. Going into space, mathematics, quantum mechanics, the secrets of the universe. It's all there. Life is fiery with its beauty. It's incredible detail. Tuning into it. They want to shatter your mind talking about Justin Bieber.
Wow, if that doesn't make you want to run through a fucking wall, I don't know what could. The intro that we have captures it really well. I would say that's kind of the best part of the rant there. But just like to see how it all kind of happened and to see it, him do it like live like that, I think it just gives a whole nother element to it there. So it was just kind of like a gradual progression of energy there. That was really cool. Okay, so let's get to these zaps here. I apologize everybody for dicking around here and not going through this earlier, I apologize. But we were ass deep into some combos today. So we had Letha the icon with the first zap of the day. We had Mark. Mark was actually the second zap of the day. So I understand now why Mark is like, what the hell, Jor? Mark with his Mark Friday zap, the Fat Zap Friday from Mark. He says, happy Friday. Have a great weekend. Thank you, Mark. Thank you very much. Good tribute to Elvis there, oddly enough. Thank you very much. But thank you, Mark and Bob and Stewie and the boys. And Moravian Moravian with the double shot today. We got Sin Deezy. Sin Deezy said, I like my Fridays fat, pH fat, and bouncy. So thank you, Sin. That was the Sin Friday zap as well for the tribute to the great state of Texas. Speaking of Texas, we had Maria 5K. Man, I'm going to take up the whole page here with love and support from the community today. Pretty lucky fella on this end of the camera. We got Duncan's. We got a couple zaps from Letha, Scotty, Mateo, Jake. Sats and Sunsets with his hat trick zap. Jenny with her hat trick zap. Who's this one? This is a big one. I missed this one. Okay. So this is a 5 shots of espresso here. And I don't know who this is from, but I'm going to guess based on this comment here. It says, good morning, Jora and Visionaries. Happy Eve of the 4th to all my American brothers and sisters. Been very busy today. Today is my last day of work before vacation. Love you all. I'll be in the background. God bless you all, and God bless America. And based on the tone and based on the everything about that message, I'm going to go ahead and assume that was our guy, Praetorian. If it was somebody else, please let me know. But I'm going to go ahead and say that was Praetorian based on how it was written, how thoughtful it was. And we're going to go ahead and assume that was Praetorian. So thank you, Praetorian. That's actually the biggest zap of the day so far. And I apologize for taking so long to get to it. We had Nick with the zap. I don't know if that was on Noster or here. But Sats and Sunsets with his second hat trick zap. Josh, the King zap. Couple from Scotty Boy. We had another bonus zap from Moravian. And then we got Jenny's second hat trick. Mateo, growing our way. And Jenny, is Jenny going to get the triple hattie here? Jenny sent in another Jenny zap. 3 Jenny zaps today. Hawaii Satoshi also sent in 212. Thank you. Hawaii Satoshi. Letha the icon also said Happy Independence Day with a shot of espresso. And Andre Invest and Stacks Sats sent in a shot of espresso. And he said, they tried to discount us from the natural world and even erase the 13th month to get us out of tune. Isn't it sick? And he sent in 5113. So that was Andre with a big zap and a great message there. They tried to disconnect us from the natural world and even erase the 13th month to get us out of tune. Sickening. Plural with the big one today. We're going to count that as a shot of espresso. It's a little bit less than a shot, but we'll take some from the others to top up plurals there. But great number there, plural with cheers. A couple beers. We're going to have a couple beers here in a few hours. But thank you, plural. And thank you, everybody, for the love and support on this beautiful Fats Out Friday. I'm about 49 minutes over time. We got a full page, but I'm just going to check, though, because Jenny sent in a bonus zap there, the 3rd Jenny zap. Jenny with a Memby. And she sent in 2 more rants. So Jenny becomes the number 3, the first ever to get the Double hat trick. Sats and Sunsets were the first to get the double hat trick. Jenny was the first to get the triple hat trick. Oh, Jenny, Sats and Sunsets, everybody. Wow, that's literally a full page of writing. I don't think that's ever happened before. So I don't know, man. Like, to me, obviously, I appreciate the the financial aspect to it. It's what keeps the show going. It allows me to do this every day. But more than anything else, like, it was kind of a weird show today in terms of, like, what we were talking about. Not everybody's into this stuff. It's just how it is. And so what that tells me, and I could be wrong about this, but what that tells me is that whoever was here today, they want to see more of this kind of stuff. And I'm hoping that's the case, because we are going to be going down this road, and we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens with it. It doesn't. There was a comment here from Sin earlier. There was a comment that was way up here now. But where was it? Right here. Sin said, if you start telling the truth and have a large enough platform to move the masses, you will be crucified. And, if you think about people like Jesus and people like Michael Jackson, and, there's countless others in the last 10 years even who have been on the same path. Maybe not to the same level, obviously not to the same level of Jesus or Michael Jackson. But, like, you think about the Aviciis, you think about the Paul Walkers, you think about the Chris Cornells, you think about the Chester, what is it? Chester Bennington? Bennington? Well, what's that guy's name? John Podesta's son. Oops, probably shouldn't have said that. But Chester Bennington's son. No, Chester himself. You think about these people who were doing this. They were looking for the truth. They were trying to get the truth out there. And they had huge followings. Aaron Carter, another one. There's so many of the examples of just these mysterious deaths. And so to me, I don't mind that we only have X amount of people here when we're talking about this stuff. And I think that the cool thing is, it doesn't have to be one person. It doesn't have to be one Jesus. In fact, there probably should be 10,000 of those. 10,000 disciples. No, not disciples. Apostles. There should be 100,000 or 1,000,000 of them. It shouldn't be one, because if there's one, that's very dangerous for that one. But if you have a lot of people talking about this stuff and a lot of people looking for the truth, that's how this thing is going to change. And just like Bitcoin, if this grows, if this spreads far enough, there's no head to cut off. Just like Bitcoin, you can't cut anybody's head off. You can't cut the head of the snake off in Bitcoin, because when you do, if you try to, 10 more grow. And so I think that, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool that we get to do this. And I'm really looking forward to the next chapter here on the show. And it seems like people are kind of on board for that. Prince, exactly. I know that Sats and Sunsets and Jenny are just messing around. Sin says, these are the kinds of discussions that I really dig most. Okay, thank you, Sin. Because again, I can kind of see the full sheet here of support and love that's came in. But the fact that people are saying that in the chat, that's just kind of an extra push. So thank you, Sin. Ian came in. Ian came back from work and said, great show, buddy. Love the deep. Love the 369 chats. Great show, buddy. 36988. Ian, what does that mean? 36988. Did you yep. There it is. Okay, so I'm gonna have to do some math here, because this is actually gonna be a close call. And what we're gonna start doing, so I think this is the best way. I've been thinking about this because I really like the banner here. I think it's just a good way to support others in the community here. So Thursday show, we're going to have the highest zap, the highest daily zap of the week. They're going to get the message on Friday. If somebody bumps them, which I think happened today, I think both Ian and Jenny both bumped Chuck. So I'm gonna figure it out here. I'm gonna get in touch with either Ian or Jenny. But there you can see that number there. So I'm just trying to do some math here because it's going to be really close between this one and Jenny's apps today. It's very close. But whoever gets this is going to get a banner Monday or Tuesday, maybe Monday. Although I might be doing a show tomorrow too. We'll see. But anyways, thank you very much, Ian. Very, very much. That's a great number there, 36988. And that went to our rescue dog fund here. The hat trick squared. I want to hear from Jenny. Jenny, Sats and Sunsets is saying that one of those doesn't count because the membership wasn't claimed. What do you think of that, Jenny? We're counting it. I told you, Sats and Sunsets. I'm on the side of Jenny here. I think that we have to count it. I'm counting. I got 3. Jenny times 3. But anyways, let's hit the road here. It'll take me half an hour to enter all this stuff in, so I'm not going to do that live. But it is Friday, and so we should at least buy some frickin' Bitcoin here before my hour of overtime comes to a close. So I got to eat some food. I was going to do a workout, but basically what that means today now is I'm not going to be able to have a show beer for the Maple Chat today because I'm going to have to do a workout after the stream now. But that's okay. I had a lot of fun with you guys and girls today, so I don't mind doing that. But let's buy some Bitcoin here. Well, I think we're down a little bit, so I'm going to buy $11 worth today. Oh, I got to take a quick flight back to Canada. Growing Our Way. Sorry, I missed this one. He said Fall of the Cabal and Rumble was a jolt I needed. Fall of the Cabal. Okay. We got some good suggestions here. Fall of the Cabal was the jolt I needed. What was the jolt like needed for what? To start your channel or for to get into more of this conversation? Okay, so we're landed back in Canada. We got $11 and we're going to buy, pretty close there to Jenny's number, 12314 Satoshis. So that was 11 units of illusion for 12,314 units of reality. There we go. And you can tell my phone needs to clean there. Sorry about that. 12,314. So we traded 11 units of illusion for 12,314. I'm going to have to update this tomorrow, but we might do a show tomorrow. I know the Americans won't probably be watching, which will kind of defeat the whole purpose of it because they'll be out and about doing shooting off fireworks and, what else do people do? Slamming beers, shooting guns, popping off fireworks. But I might do a show tomorrow. We'll see how I'm feeling. We'll see what the vibe is. But anyways, big shout out to a lot of people today. I'm going to go through the whole list because I think it's important to do because I appreciate it. I do very much appreciate it. So we got, I'd say like the biggest supporters of the day today would be Jenny with the triple hat trick, Sats and Sunsets with the double hat trick. Did I do a hat trick for Jenny's third one? I don't think I did. Here you go. So Jenny times 3, Sats and Sunsets times 2, and E&E with a massive zap on Fat Zap Friday today. Massive zap. So that's it. We got Sats and Sunsets. We had Jenny. We had Letha, the icon. We had Moravian. We had Duncan. We had Sats and Sunsets again. Jenny, a lot of Sats and Sunsets, a lot of Jennies. Joshua with a king zap today, the king himself. And more Jennies. Alex, Mark with a big one too. Big one from Mark today. And Praetorian with a massive one as well today. So Maria 5K, one of our most consistent supporters around here, along with Moravian. And then we had Andre invests and stacks sats, and plural. And a couple other bigger ones too. I think Sindeezy had a big Texas zap today, but that's what we got. So this might have been one of our longer shows ever today, but hope you enjoyed it. And judging by the chats and the zaps today, I think that people did enjoy it. So I'm glad, because we're going to be doing more of this. We're just going to be exploring. That's all we're doing. We're just asking questions. We're exploring. We're seeking the truth, and we're stacking the reality. So that's it. Again, thank you to Chuck, who was the big zap of the week, which led to Growing Our Way. Make sure, if you're watching this later, you can just, actually, I'll try to remember to put the link in the comments here, link to Growing Our Way, but you can also just search it, Growing Our Way, and it's a homesteading channel. So Sats and Sunset said late start and late end. Yeah, this is definitely the latest I've ever done a show. It's noon here. I used to be done these shows at like 10. So I'm going to have to make some changes in my life. I'm going to have to do some deep self-reflection this week and say, Jor, what are we doing? We can't be doing these shows till noon. But anyways, thank you all so much for being here, for being part of the chat, for the love and support that you sent in. And if you are watching this on Rumble, I see there's about 30 people over there right now. So if you're watching this on Rumble and you didn't say anything the whole show, I'm going to ask again that you just say hello, leave an emoji in there. I won't bring it up or anything, but it helps for our monthly requirements on Rumble. So that would be my last ask of you. It's free. It helps. And I would appreciate it. Okay. Yeah. 3 a.m. My God. Sorry. I kept you too late. But I hope you enjoyed it. So thanks, everybody. I love you all. Have an amazing weekend, and a big shout out to our friends and brothers and sisters in the South, the America. Big birthday today. I might be here, I might not, but either way, I hope you have a great July 4th, and it's going to be fun, even to watch from the outside. I know I'm gonna enjoy tomorrow. So that's it. We'll see you in about an hour if you're there for the Maples. If not, we'll see you tomorrow maybe, or Monday. Who knows? Bye-bye.